When it comes to body fat, the number on the scale tells you far less than you might think. What truly matters isn't just how much fat you carry, but where it's stored. The human body holds fat in different compartments, and two types in particular have dramatically different effects on your health: subcutaneous fat and visceral fat. Subcutaneous fat is the type most people are familiar with. It sits just under the skin, in places like your arms, thighs, hips, and belly. It's the soft, visible fat that you can pinch. While it's often the target of aesthetic concerns from a medical standpoint, subcutaneous fat is relatively harmless in most people. In some cases, it may even serve a protective role by storing excess calories away from vital organs. Visceral fat, on the other hand, is far more insidious. It's stored deep within the abdominal cavity, wrapping around the liver, pancreas, and intestines. You can't see it or touch it, but you can feel its effects over time because visceral fat is a major driver of metabolic dysfunction. It pumps out inflammatory molecules, disrupts hormone signaling, interferes with insulin sensitivity, and increases the risk of conditions like type 2 diabetes, heart disease, fatty liver disease, and stroke. This kind of fat is metabolically active in the worst way. It secretes cytokines and other compounds that fuel chronic inflammation, damage blood vessels, and impair glucose metabolism. And unlike subcutaneous fat, it feeds directly into the portal vein that leads to the liver, putting it in the perfect position to wreak systemic havoc. But here's the encouraging part: you can reduce visceral fat significantly without losing a dramatic amount of weight. That's a crucial distinction, and it changes the way we should think about health. Research shows that targeted changes, such as shifting to a fiber-rich, low-sugar diet, increasing aerobic and resistance training, improving sleep quality, and managing stress, can shrink visceral fat even if your total body weight stays the same. In some studies, people lost very little on the scale, yet saw dramatic improvements in blood sugar control, lipid profiles, liver enzymes, and inflammation, all thanks to reduced visceral fat. This is where conventional dieting advice can mislead. Weight loss alone is not a reliable measure of progress if it doesn't target the right kind of fat. You could lose muscle or subcutaneous fat while visceral fat remains untouched, keeping your health risks high. Alternatively, you could maintain your weight but improve your organ health, reduce internal fat, and dramatically lower your disease risk. The warning here is that most tools used in daily life, scales, BMI charts, clothing sizes, fail to capture these crucial distinctions. It's easy to assume that no weight change means no progress, when in fact the most important changes are happening under the surface. Even healthcare providers sometimes overemphasize body weight while missing more dangerous shifts in body composition. That's why a better approach to long-term health doesn't fixate on the scale, but instead focuses on behaviors and biological markers. If you're walking more, building muscle, sleeping better, and eating more whole foods, you may be chipping away at the fat that truly matters, even if the mirror or your genes suggest otherwise. In the end, it's not about being lighter, it's about being metabolically safer. And that starts with understanding that visceral fat, not visible fat, is the real threat worth targeting.